terrific final half for Katrina LeMay-Doan. Good enough to give Canada the gold.
Chances are you've heard of Katrina LeMay-Doan, Christine Nesbitt, and Cindy Klassen, world champions, Olympic champions, and all winners of the Velma Springstead Trophy. But who is Velma Springstead? The Roaring '20s. World War I was a distant memory, and for women who could now vote, it was a time with limitless possibilities.
They were a terrific period for women in sports. Some historians still call it the golden age because opportunities were growing. Women received more media coverage then for their performances in the mass media than at any other time.
It was a young woman from 228 Burlington Street that would come to epitomize Canadian women in sport. In 1925, Velma Springstead was a member of the first women's team to compete internationally at a track and field meet in London.
It's an interesting story and very hard to capture because although the meet was won by Great Britain and Canada finished third behind Great Britain and Czechoslovakia, some of the performances and some of the interventions by the athletes were memorable.
But amazingly, Velma Springstead, for whatever reason, attracted the interest of Lord Decius, who was one of the prime movers and shakers behind the meet, and attracted his favor and also the other athletes at the meet.
And she was voted by all of the competitors at that meet the most outstanding competitor in the meet because she competed in a number of events and she encouraged and maybe even coached athletes from all three countries. And so she was considered, she was the celebrity of that meet. She was reported, her activities were reported in all the British newspapers. Of course, they were duly copied back here. So she became a household word very quickly as a result of that meet.
The trip elevated women's sport from obscurity to notoriety. Canadian women deserved a permanent spot in international competition. A shoe-in to make the first women's Olympic team in 1928, Springstead never got her chance.
Our health wasn't as strong in those years. There was no Medicare.
In her 20th year, she died of pneumonia at St. Joseph's Hospital on James Street, or John Street South in those days in Hamilton. She died after a 3-day illness.
But that wasn't the last of Velma Springstead. Women's sport was still looking to affirm itself, and that would come in the form of a trophy awarded to the Canadian Female Athlete of the Year.
In the mid-30s, they created such a trophy and they named it after Velma Springstead. And they did so because she, even though she died tragically at a very young age, her spirit, her example, continued to inspire many other women. Her story inspired many girls and women to pursue excellence in Canadian and international sport, and that's why they decided to name this trophy after her.
The Hamilton Sports Hall of Fame welcomes Velma Springstead.